Hello. So it's the night and my daughter is asleep, and so as a good mother, I am sifting through content and seeing what is good and what is bad. So normally, what I'm doing, like as a mother, of course, I'm in charge of her like daily activities, and I'm like the teacher. So what I do generally in the morning, she has like what we do is we replicate school the way it was. More because I know that eventually she's going to go back to school, so it's not like party mode. It's very hard to live in an apartment and then still have people be have a child be active. Like she doesn't go down and play, and so it's a challenge. So coming to challenges, I went online and I googled what is a good children's content to watch, and all the YouTube videos. I mean, almost 100% of them were what you should not show your child. Okay, so I was like, I mean, I'd love to know what I shouldn't show my child, but I'd also like to know what to show my child. So obviously, as a YouTube creator, I thought, okay, since people aren't really talking about that, let me talk about what not to show. So I made a list, what to watch. Okay, so here is the list. What? 1 minute. Sorry, I'm taking my pencil out. So here's the list about what to watch on Prime, Netflix, and Hotstar. Okay, I've made a list. You can see it in the reflection of my eye. Basically, in our home, we don't have cable TV. We have Prime, Netflix, and Hotstar, which are the primary sources of entertainment. We also watch Right Now Media. I'm going to first start with Hotstar because Hotstar primarily the content is very limited. I'm very very disappointed with Hotstar because I can't believe that Disney owns this because. Let me count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, like maybe 12 or 15 films of worth, and it's all just Disney movies like Dumbo, Incredibles 2, Lion King, Ralph Breaks the Internet. These are all nice films, but I'm very disappointed that their options are so less. There's so many Disney films that could have come, but it hasn't really brought that out. So I think Hotstar you can do better in terms of children's content. So another thing I want to say, of course, Mary Poppins is on Netflix, but I'm really disappointed that classical films like Sound of Music and like these films that were like we grew up like they were classics. I'm really disappointed that they are not there. Like I had to search for Sound of Music. Thank God we had a copy. So now, like tomorrow, day after, I'll be showing her that. But otherwise, you shouldn't need to go to your archives. Your DVD archives and stuff. Prime is little better. Prime is basically all the non-Disney cartoons. Young Sheldon is nice, but Young Sheldon used to be very, very nice for our daughter, like a 7-year-old daughter when she was 5 or 6. But as the episodes are going, the content is becoming more adult because obviously the kids are growing up. So I can understand that, but yeah, I like Young Sheldon, but like it's not something I can show her. I mean, I can, but it's again she won't really enjoy it, and she hasn't been. Then Kung Fu Panda, of course, is great, like a big, big hit. Or it has Wonder Park, which we saw, which is nice, adventure kind of film. Madagascar 1 and 2, Stuart Little, Hotel Transylvania, Serves, What a Horse, which is a nice movie, by the way, you should see it. And then the Shrek series. But this show I will talk about, which is a show that I highly, highly recommend. And if you were watching my What to Watch series that I did last year on YouTube, Pete the Cat. I still stand by Pete the Cat. I for Christmas I bought my daughter a doodle book, a Pete the Cat doodle book. Pete the Cat is one of the best shows on the OTT platforms. Yeah, I know the technical term now. So Pete the Cat is a show that I highly, highly, highly recommend for kids. It's modern, it's cool, it's very international, very positive, very, like liberal in terms of it's not so stuck in its ways. So I like Beat the Cat a lot. So it's a show that you can close your eyes, leave your kids alone, and just show them. It's just about song, music, cultures, languages, very with it, like, and not in a weird social media type of way, if that's such a thing. But the winner of all of this, like if these three, Prime, Hotstar, and Netflix were contending, the winner would be Netflix, because Netflix, the options on Netflix are so good. Their original content is next level. Like Carmen Sandiego, like what is up with that? That's such a cool show that all of us enjoyed it. Like all of us, like I would be like, oh, you've watched this episode. Like my niece also watches it. I also watch it. Zoe, my daughter, also watches it. So I remember she went ahead, and I was very slow at catching up because I had other things to do, like be a mother. I couldn't watch the series like at par with my daughter. But I remember it took me about 6 months to finish the series. And I was like, this content is amazing, and I'm waiting for the season 3, just like her, just like my niece. So then, of course, Trolls is there, and Tales of Arcadia, basically. The two, the Alien one and then the Trolls one is fantastic. Again, that's another show that I got addicted to. So it's a very nice, I won't say binge worthy. It's a little heavy for binge worthy, but it's fun for kids. So those are shows that so basically check out Netflix when it comes to kids content. So Llama Llama is another like series which is really good. Very nice lessons, simple story, a lot like Pete the Cat. Like just feel good. Of course, for smaller kids, there are shows like Daniel, Tiger Neighborhood, True. That's very nice. There's a show called Beat Bugs. Oh, it's such a good show, and it's based on the Beatles soundtrack. So every they've weaved Beatles music around an episode, like different episodes, and the renditions are so good, and they've got like famous artists contributing to this. So it's like even as an adult, you admire their programming and their way of getting special artists to kind of come and participate in the episodes. Beat Bugs. So you should check that out. And then of course Storybots is fantastic. I mean, this is a show that I love watching. I'm not the audience. Maybe I am actually. I really love kids content. I love watching kids content. I get very involved and very passionate, as you can tell. Storybots is a very good show, very educative. I learned a lot of like cool new things when I watched that. And the soundtrack, oh my gosh. Again, like Pete the Cat, Storybots has this fantastic soundtrack, which I actually listen to Pete the Cat and Storybots soundtrack in my free time, because the soundtracks are really good. So it's very positive for our kids. Then there's a show called Investigators. I'm not saying it wrong. It's not Investigators, but it's Investigators. I think it's an Australian detective kind of show of students trying to solve things. So that's a nice show. Then of course My Little Pony and How to Train Your Dragon, and of course a lot of Pixar movies are on Netflix. So you've got your Disney and Pixar stuff. So I feel like content-wise, Netflix is really gives you the big bouquet of content. You've got your educational programs, you've got your detective series, you've got your fun stuff, you've got lots of stuff going on in terms of content. I feel like they can still I know I'm so greedy, but like they can still update their content more often. But I really enjoy their content a lot more than Hotstar, definitely. Even though Hotstar is owned by Disney, they're really not doing too much in terms of content for kids. Prime is excellent in terms of Pete the Cat. Other stuff is okay. Another thing that is quite amazing is this new thing that Netflix has started, which is you get to choose the plot. So it only works in devices with kind of and smart TVs, but you can choose the plot. I don't know what it's called actually, but it's basically interactive storytelling that you choose the plot, and Netflix has this in place for Carmen Sandiego. I think there's a small chunk, and Puss in Boots, and certain shows. So that's very nice. The interactiveness gives story options and narrative options, which honestly feels more like an English lesson than it does a cartoon. But it's nice to have those kind of elements. So yeah, like full points to Netflix for that. So another thing that I want to add is that there's a website called Common Sense Media, which is great for parents because it reviews movies through parents. Okay, so parents review films on it, and they talk about, like, kids also do it. So, like, for example, if this film is PG-7, it actually feels like PG-16. So it gives those kind of reviews, and from a parental perspective. So I kind of I filter all my content, most of my content, through that. Of course, I use my brain also. But if I don't know the show, like, for example, my daughter keeps coming up with these show names, okay, and I have no idea what they are. So I sift it through Common Sense Media, and then I see what parents are saying about it. And for example, if I get like 5 to 10 reviews which are saying it's dark, it's violent, it's, and it's got like reviews like, is it dark, is it like, it's the age. So, like, for example, right now, if I'm on Common Sense, they're talking about the film Onward, okay, the latest film that came out. So the Onward, the movie is rated 4 out of 5. It's rated, the age is 7 years old, and it's got a little bit of language. It's language in the sense bad language. It's got a little drinking, drugs, smoking. Oh, consumerism, violence, scariness, sexy stuff, positive messages, educational value, positive role models, and representatives. Okay, so what happens now is, not only do you have ratings like that, like, is there smoking in this? Is there drinking? Is there drug use? Is there consumerism? Is there violence? Is there scariness? Is it educational value? Does it have positive role models? Like, for example, I'll just go to Brave, okay, same production company. So in Brave, Brave is 8 years. So now my daughter watched Brave much earlier, because I feel like it's a mother-daughter movie. So Brave's review is that it's about an 8-year-old film, okay? And does it have educational value? It's rated. It has violence, scariness, consumerism, positive messages, sexy stuff, drinking, drugs, smoking. Where was drinking and drugs? And okay, drinking was there in the positive role models is like off the charts. Language, no language problem because people didn't really understand. But what I'm trying to say is that then parents review the film from the perspective of their kids. Now, some parents are very conservative, some parents are not, but you get an overview of multiple parents looking at films and their perspective, and then of course you can put your own view and your review. I haven't reviewed anything on this yet, but this Common Sense Media is for movies, TV, books, apps, games. Parents need to know, and different thing, and it even has a coronavirus news coverage section. Wow, I didn't know that. But yeah, so use that, use this information, because the internet is filled with amazing things that can kind of help you. But I hope that helps. So during this quarantine period, when you are trying, and then we have just a few more days left, but when your kids pester you about content, use this video. I'll also write the same thing I've spoken about. I'll write it in an article, and I'll link it down in the description box, so you can kind of click on it and maybe even take a print. Maybe I'll make a printout where you can print and kind of stick up in your house, so you know, okay, which content you've watched and stuff. But really, it's hard being a parent right now, because we have to constantly keep our kids occupied. We have to constantly support them. We have to constantly let them get bored also. So it's a fine line between all of those things. I'm very enthusiastic about kind of making my daughter watch old classic movies like Sound of Music or King and I, or films like that, where musicals. And of course she's seen Mary Poppins, the old one and the new one. But for me, it's these were values. The I don't know. Those are feel good films. So that's also where I'm going to be going, like in towards those directions. Yeah. So that's about it. So that's your What to Watch series during the COVID-19 quarantine that you're at home. I hope you're not sick, but if you're sick also, this can kind of help also ease your pain. Children's content is always fun. So I hope you have a nice time watching, and let me know if there are other things that you think I should add on this list. I can do a version 2.0 if I've missed out a lot of stuff, but I think I've covered it all. All right. So happy watching and happy managing kids. And I hope you got something out of this, and I hope the content is going to help you. Till then, bye. See you next time.